All right, so today we're going to take a little walk through TotalView Lane, what we like to call TV or TotalView, and that is the system that we use for a lot of student information storage, for emailing and communicating with students and their learning coaches, and also documenting those interactions. So you would log into your existing account. Once you get in there, you will see that you have all of these tabs that we talked about in a previous video, the My Schedule, classes, announcements, those are from Stride K-12, the place where you can find new students, etc. Remember, My Schedule was the place where we can schedule Class Connect sessions, we can schedule new row sessions with students. Classes was where we got to our course lists and we can select our courses and go in and do all of the different things that we want to do inside that course. Up at the top here where this little link button is, there are some pretty cool links I wanted to point out here. So we have the Big Universe Library where you can go in and there are lots of resources in there, so you may want to play with that a little bit. Another one that is really good is teacher training. Obviously, this is where it will bring you to your K-12 training and it will prompt you to log in so that you can see your K-12 training account there. And then this one on the bottom is where we get to TotalView School. TV, sometimes people say TVS, all the same thing. Once we click on that, it takes us automatically to TotalView and logs us in. So when you get to TotalView, you can see that there are different tabs along the top. So we don't immediately see different students' names or anything like that. But what we can do is we can go to Classrooms. If we click on the Classrooms tab, we can scroll down and look for a specific teacher name or course name, or we can also say Display All Classrooms. This is the classroom, one of the classrooms that I'm added in. So this is a classroom. If I click on this, these are the teachers that are added to it. You can also see students. So when I click on the Students tab, you'll see a list of all the students within that classroom. You can use this to be able to communicate with all of the students in your classroom or to save a note about all of the students in your classroom. There's also a tab called Grade Marks, and this is something you'll use at the end of the semester or at the end of the school year, depending on if your course is year-long or semester-long, to double check that the grades have been transferred into TotalView. So more on that later. But in the meantime, the Students tab is probably where you'll spend most of your time. So what you would do is you could select all of your students. If you click all, it would select everyone in your classroom. Or you can individually click the check marks next to their name. You can select one student, you can select many students, it's up to you. I'm going to select all for right now. You can see that these choices pop up. If I wanted to send an email, I would select New Message. Once you select New Message, it will automatically blind copy all of the students on there. So if you selected all of your students, they wouldn't see all of the email addresses that you're sending it to. They would just see that it was sent to them. As you finish typing that message, and you can embed links, and just like a Word document, you can add pictures in your email and all kinds of things like that. But when you finish, down at the bottom, there's a place where you can check a box for Save as Note. You do want to click that box and save as a note. And that's really important because when we are addressing students, when we are communicating with students, we want to make sure that all of our communications with them are upfront and documented. So if you are emailing students who need to make up missing assignments, or even if you're just emailing them and saying, hey, there's a test coming up, that's a really good thing to document so that their advisor can look at it, and anyone who's working with that student, such as a special education teacher, they can all see that you've sent them an email. So when a student says, oh, I didn't know I needed to do that, they can look into the notes on the student and say, hey, I see Mrs. Darmo emailed you about that last week. So a lot of different information that we want to document, and that emails sent to students are definitely one of them. The other thing that you can choose is a new note. So if you were to select a new note, then you could use a note template, such as an Enduring Connection call template, to document any ongoing communications with the student or with their learning coach, legal guardian, someone at home. All right, so both of those are really important. That's also where you could go. I'll show you in just a moment where you could go to the notes to be able to see what other teachers, what other staff members have communicated with those students. All right, so new message, just make sure once you type that message, you do select the checkbox at the bottom for save as note. New note, anything you wanted to document. So for instance, if I selected all of them, I might want to put in a note that I met individually with that student in a breakout room to discuss their goals or something like that. All right, so both of those are really important. Scrolling down, if you were to actually click on a student's name, you could click on a student's name and the box that pops up would give you a lot of information about that student. So you could look at the information, you can see what phone numbers to call, all that good stuff. You could click on the notes section and you would be able to see on the notes section everything that has been emailed to that student. So any of the emails that have been sent by other teachers or notes that have been added from teachers that have spoken with the learning coach or the student directly. All right, so all of those are good sources of information as you are working with students to be able to find in TotalView. If you are looking for TotalView enrollment, if you are on the student support team, you can also get to TotalView enrollment from that original screen by going up to the quick links at the top of the page. So if you click on the quick links, you could go down to TotalView enrollment to get to TotalView enrollment right there.